clearer than in the war raging in Eastern Europe. My wife and I have traveled into Ukraine since Russia's brutal and unprovoked invasion 3 years ago. Just a few short months after the initial invasion, we crossed the border of Poland to a relief center and saw a sight I never thought I'd see outside of black and white films from World War II. Literally, throngs of women and children of every age carrying all the possessions they could on their backs into a relief center, fleeing from the onslaught of the Russian invasion. And in 2023, I traveled to the very sites just outside Kiev where Ukrainian troops turned back the initial invasion on that capital city, bravely in the woods, at great cost. I mean, Vladimir Putin's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine is the most blatant act of aggression in Europe since 1939. But it's not merely an attack on one nation. It's a very assault on the right of free people to determine their own destiny. And it's assault on the principle that we will not allow powers to redraw international lines by force. And the truth is, I have no doubt that if Vladimir Putin, who I have met and spoken to, and told things that he didn't want to hear, I have no doubt that if Vladimir Putin overruns Ukraine, it's only a matter of time before he crosses a border where our men and women in uniform will have to deal with him. Now, I want to commend the United Kingdom for its steadfast leadership, sending weapons, training troops, rallying Europe, but we must do more. Putin will not stop until he's stopped. That's why in my country, I have called on our administration and on the Congress of the United States to pass strong secondary sanctions against any nation that is propping up Russia's war machine through the purchase of its energy. Russia's war efforts is being maintained and sustained by oil money from the rest of the world, and much of it comes from nations who claim to share our values. More than $1 trillion worth of Russian oil and gas has been purchased on world markets, funding Putin's brutal war machine. The passage of strong secondary sanctions by the United States and our allies, I believe, will bring enormous economic pressure on Russia. Any nation that heats its homes with Russian oil fuels Putin's war machine. Any nation that helps Putin should share in his isolation. And in point of fact, I'm happy to report the United States has lots of oil and natural gas. And by the way, the United Kingdom has significant undeveloped reserves in the North Sea. I submit to you that it's time for America and the UK to fuel freedom like never before. Beyond Europe lies